Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I say to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there, or the hopeful elect, because this message is ultimately only for the elect. You're going to have jakes that's going to listen to it, but the ones that are going to get it and grow in this thing and become teachers are the elect. A lot of you think that you're of the elect, but are not. And how do we know that? Because you don't understand all the scriptures. You take away and add to the scriptures. You take away and add to the law. Like, for example, anyway, let me give you the title of this video. The title of this video is "The Four Kingdoms of the Gentiles Will Pass Away and Be Succeeded by the Kingdom of the Saints of the Most High." Now, if this is more than 100 characters, I'm going to have to cut it short, but that's the title. And this is from, as Bishop Nathaniel said about 2 months ago, the Bible Hub. And I believe I did a couple of videos saying, Bishop Nady following us, he's going to the Bible Hub. Then maybe a month after that, he said the commentary. And I know he went to the Bible Hub. Now, when I first started going to these commentary sites, I would put in a precept, like the precept I got in there now, Daniel 7:18, and I would put in commentary, a Bible commentary, and a whole bunch of sites on different commentaries came up. I just happened to click on Bible Hub. I could have clicked on 100 different sites. I think it was maybe the third in the list or something like that, or maybe the first. I just happened to click on that. And most of the time I'll go to Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges, because normally Matthew Henry, I used to go to Matthew Henry's concise commentary, and sometimes Barnes. But most of the time the first one I'll go to is Cambridge Bible for Schools and Colleges. But I mean, I could go, but if I don't like what's in here, I'll see what's over here, whatever the case may be. Anyway, so I said, let me go to Daniel 7:18, which we all know what it says: the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So I said, well, let me go to the Bible, the commentary. So it says, and I caught Bishop Nate out there again going off. He had did a video. I believe it was this weekend. I'm almost positive it was this weekend. Maybe the last 30 minutes of the video, he was going into Daniel chapter 8. And he said he went to the commentary, and the commentary said that it was talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. But then he said, no, it's not talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, or it's not just talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, it's talking about now. And we were in the car cracking up saying, nope, you just added to the scriptures. Daniel chapter 8 is referring to that time. When you go to Daniel chapter 8, in a nutshell, is Alexander, the Persian and the Medes, Alexander, the rough goat, and the king of Greca. That's Alexander. Scholars will tell you that. They don't argue that. And the ram, that's there were two sides to the ram. That's talking about the Persian Medio Empire. Then it speaks about a little horn. The little horn is not the Antichrist. The little horn is not Donald J. Trump. The little horn is not Kamala Harris. The little horn is not Joe Biden being rejuvenated. Inside joke. The little horn is Antiochus Epiphanes. That's why I did a video on the two little horns in Daniel 7 and Daniel 8. Daniel chapter 7 speaks about a little horn. It's not talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. How do you know? Because when you read the above verses and the verses below that, you see it's not talking about Antiochus. But however, in Daniel chapter 8 is talking about Antiochus Epiphanes and the way he would be taken out with no out hands. So the bishop Nathaniel, he said that that's not really talking about. He either said, and I got to go to it. He said somebody, if they want to look for it, it was about the last half an hour or so of the video live that he did this past Saturday. He either said that's not talking about Antiochus. The commentary says it's talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. It's not talking about Antiochus Epiphanes. Or it's not only talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, it's talking about now. So now I ran into a video put up on IUIC, the subject of Daniel chapter 8, and one of the brothers, I forget the brother's name, deacon, whatever, captain, whatever, he been darker brother. Matter of fact, I might even go to that. He did I'm watching this video, and you know how when you click on a YouTube video, and it might be a 20-minute video, but it's like 10 minutes into the video. That means you watched it. And I said I don't even remember watching this video, so it could have been 6 months ago that I watched this video, and I probably say, "Oh, that brother's right on that. He broke it down right." But I came across it again. And the brother was breaking it down, captain, whatever title he had. The brother was breaking it down the correct way. He said that's talking about Antiochus Epiphanes and how worms are going to eat him from the inside out. So I said, well, wait a minute. This Bishop Nathaniel said it wasn't talking about that. So are they truly organized? What else? Then he went into the MOTB again, but he kind of changed it a little bit. He almost wants to say it's a chip, but it's also sin and sin, whether political, whatever. So he kind of sees it. Because he's going to have to explain it when it comes. So anyway, and by the way, we don't do dialogues, we don't do debates. If you can't see it, you ain't meant to see it. Oh, we got to sit down and dialogue. When you go to Galatians 6. It says, if a brother, matter of fact, let me go to it so I can read it. I don't botch it up. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, where did I say I was going to go? Galatians. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, you breaking the scripture down the wrong way. It says, ye which are spiritual, restore, to pull him to the side and say, no, you brother, you broke it down the wrong way. It really means this. Restore such an one. And it says a brother, not all of you are brethren. Restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. So y'all got that, right? Let me read that in NLT. It didn't say go to the brother and tell him he's going off. And if he comes back and says we got a dialogue, then you get your notes together and you have a dialogue for the next 3 years on whether you right and have an audience. Let's put your hand over here. Who wanted to, even Deacon Akar said that. he did it recently, 6 months ago. He went into me and him going back and forth on the Ezra, second Ezra 11 and second Ezra 12. So I showed him many years ago. He said it was a Byzantine Empire. So I asked him a certain question. I forget what precept I pulled out on him, but I asked him a certain question concerning a verse in either the 11th chapter, the 3rd chapter, and he would just ignore me. And I asked him about 100 times. He just ignored me, because I would say, if this is talking about the Byzantine Empire, then what does this verse mean? And he would just, and they're good at doing that. If they don't have the answer, they will ignore you and hope that you go away. So 6 months ago, he said, I think I did a video saying that he's still going off. He still teaches the Cornelius, the constant Byzantine Empire. So I did like a comeback, and then he said, "Well, you guys watch my video and watch the Hard's video, and you decide which do you think is true." It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. When you're breaking down the scripture and you got 50 people in the audience, if 30 of them say, "I don't agree with the other 20," you got to go. It doesn't work that way. This is not Showtime at the Apollo. This is why Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is breaking up the camps. There were more guys, about 3 guys that left the Sakari. And they say, "Oh, it's not doctrinal, we're just leaving." For whatever reason, they ain't telling me. So it's not just Hakar and or Deacon Hakar and Brother Hassad. It's other brothers from Atlanta. So I don't know what the backlog, I mean, Sakari got a big following, so I don't know what's really going on. They're saying, "Well, we got nothing but love for them, but we break." Wait a minute. If you got nothing but love for the brothers, the apostleship, did 4 to 12 say we're going to do our own thing? No. They stayed together in that unity, man. They stayed in that circle. The apostle Paul said, well, even Peter said, I'm deeper than all of you guys, so I'm breaking up and I'm gonna call it the Pauline. No, Paul. There was a situation. Not Cornelius Council. The Cornelius Council happened when we got kicked out of school. That's called the Cornelius Council. But that was a Jerusalem Council in Act 15, where there was a situation with certain men that were believers. I believe they were Pharisees that believed, and they said you cannot enter if you're not circumcised. So the Apostle Paul really didn't have an answer for them, and so they went up to Jerusalem, and Peter said, Paul was probably saying, yeah, they should be circumcised, but let's go to the head apostles. So Peter said, no, you don't got to be circumcised. So, okay, that's that. It ain't no back and forth. We got to go back. Did these guys say, oh, no, we got to go back and forth with Peter and them and James and Paul? We got to go back and forth, man. I can bring out. Peter was the head man. The Most High appointed him to be the head man. He said what's to be said, and that was it. So this is not this gospel is not about we're going to sit down and have a series of debates and see how many people believe. It doesn't work that way, man. You either accept this truth or you don't. Like if what's this guy? Assad wanted to join GMS. He wouldn't be able to join GMS. He would have to really humble down, because he's been a naughty boy, and he's clear, and that's pride sticking in, because he said, well, Tahar, you said all this stuff about Ezekiel 38, you never went into it. So I did a video and I went into it, and it tells you in Ezekiel 38, the last few verses, it said there shall be a great shaking in Israel, meaning that the missiles going to hit. That shaking is talking about when the missiles hit. So the Most High is going to shake the earth again. So So you tell a guy he's going off. If he can't see it, then you're gonna eventually. If you got a guy in GMS saying, "Oh, I believe that Edomites are gonna make it because my grandmother on my mother's side is an Edomite, so I believe," and he's teaching that, we're gonna tell him, "Look, brother, in meekness, don't teach that. You're going off." He says, "Okay," he's still teaching it. You're out. You're out the camp. You're out the circle. If there's any GMS members that's secretly teaching that the MOTB is sin in all of its forms, they're out. I said, "Look, brother, you're out. You're out." "Yeah, but we should have a discussion because the Spirit came to me in a vision." And I said, "Yeah, that's a false vision, all right? Which proved that you're a false prophet." And when you read these scriptures, this is a key scripture. It said, "Restore, man, if you see him going off." So now I got to think, oh, I might be going off. Hassad might ultimately be. Oh, another argument was, this was years ago with the grape thing. The priest Alazar can't see it. He said, "No, that ain't talking about that." And we showed him that it's talking about that, but he doesn't want to touch that. When he came down to visit me on 34th Street, I pulled up that subject about the grape thing so we can go into it. He didn't want to deal with it, or maybe he didn't deal with it, but I brought it up. I said, "What about, let's deal with the grape thing and the fact that you said I got the hots from my niece, and that's against the law. Can we deal with that?" And he kind of changed the subject, and we went another. It was a friendly back and forth, you know. And no, we don't hate Hassad. If Hassad was broken down on, had a flat tire, and we saw him, if we wasn't in no hurry, we'll pull over and help the brother. If we saw General Yohana, we'll pull over and help him fix his flat tire. So it's not this hate and "I hope you drop dead, nigga" type of thing. You're just brother's been bringing out the scriptures, not being a novice, least lifted up with pride, you've come under the condemnation of the devil. And that's you, Assad. You a novice. You ain't no guy that been in this thing for 50 years. You haven't been in this thing for 20 years. But you're gonna tell us, "Oh, we gotta have a discussion." We ain't having no fucking discussion with nobody. Why you think we said as far as what's this guy, Vocab Malone, why do you think we said call the cops on him? Because there's nothing to discuss with Vocab. There's nothing to discuss. Vocab been effing with us since 2016. So we're talking almost 10 years, 8 years plus. What is he going to tell us that make us see, oh, we're going to have a eureka, tongue twister to me, eureka moment. Oh, you're right. You're right. Calvin, this is the way. Yes. We're going to start coming under. That shit ain't never going to fucking happen. Okay? Vocab Malone is never going to say the One West Israelites are right. I give up my whatever rank I have. I'm no longer in the ministry of Calvinism. I'm going to become a monk, and I'm going to proclaim that the One West Israelites have the 100% truth, and you should listen to the men. That nigga never gonna say that. He's never gonna say that. Okay. So anyway, oh, by the way, let me see if I can bring this up. Bear me for a minute. Yeah, because Bishop Nathaniel, I was watching this video right here, put up by GMS South Carolina 08. Bishop Nathaniel, he'll put up he put up IUIC, puts a lot of videos up. And you go to some of them old videos, their breakdowns is different 5 years ago than it is now. But anyway, let me do this. Daniel, let me do it this way. IUIC, Daniel 8. don't know if this is the one. Oh, yes, this is the one. So let me go to this. Let me go over here. Right about here. Go to the middle.
Themselves together and went up into Mount Zion. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate and the altar profaned and the gates burnt up and shrubs growing in the courts as in a forest or in one of the mountains, yea, and the priest's chambers pulled down, they rent their clothes and made great lamentation and cast ashes upon their head and fell down for the ground upon their faces and blew an alarm with the trumpets and cried towards heaven.
That's when Antiochus Epiphanes put an order out to defile the temple. Let me jump over here. Which he broke it down correct.
Very terrible. If this was some sweet looking, why would she say it was very terrible? Because off like first war, second war, third war. They called it some other thing in the fourth war. They had like 5 wars. I don't know if that's completely accurate that they just had 5 wars, but they have that listed, right? So wars that was fought between his generals against each other to take over and have, you know.
Are you talking about Daniel 11? Daniel 11 is a series of 6 Syrian wars. If you go to the 6 Syrian wars, that will describe the Antiochus, the Seleucid dynasty, and the Ptolemaic dynasty fighting against each other. That's Daniel chapter 11. Daniel chapter 11 has nothing to do with a future Antichrist. Daniel chapter 11 took place already. Daniel chapter 8 took place already. Daniel chapter 9 took place already. Part of Daniel 7 is fulfilled. Part of Daniel 2 is fulfilled. Okay? So he's talking about those 6 Syrian wars featured in Daniel chapter 11.
I'm saying total domination, right? But now let's go back to First Maccabees. Let me show y'all something. King of Egypt, Ptolemy was afraid of him and fled, and many were wounded to death. Esau. Okay, that's why I'm saying what it's saying in Daniel. All right, evils were multiplied in the earth, right? So let's go right back to Daniel. Okay, and it says, and I'm starting at 23 again, y'all. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. That's Antiochus. Okay, we already knew that from reading before.
You heard what he said? He said that's Antiochus. Antiochus Epiphanes. You heard what he just said. Let me bring that back, just in case you say, oh, I didn't hear him say that. Okay, well, I'm going to bring up the closed caption.
Aggressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. That's Antiochus. Okay, we already knew that from.
That's Antiochus. So if you watch the video that Bishop Nathaniel did Saturday, I would say about the last half an hour or so, maybe the last 40 minutes of the video, and it's up there. You can find it. He said I went into the commentary and it said that there's Antiochus Epiphanes, but it's really not. It's talking about right now. No, Daniel chapter 8 is not talking about now. Daniel chapter 8 took place already. So Christian brings out Daniel 8, Daniel 9, Daniel 11. It's talking about the end. No, it has nothing to do, because they don't understand prophecy. So, and another thing, IUIC teaches that there's an actual hell that where your spirit goes into and burns forever, which is not true. And he was never taught that at the main school. But if you go back 5 years ago, he teaches about the lake of fire. And it's talking about America being on fire when the missiles hit it. Nothing about it being an eternal hell. Dante's Inferno. So these guys, they look like they're in order on the outside, but they're really not in order, because they would have taken this video down. This is IUIC Daily Bread, given this sense, Daniel chapter 8. So he just said that's supposed to be Antiochus Epiphanes. The Bishop Nathaniel said something completely different. So they're really not in order. They just look like they're in order. Because he's changing the doctrine. If I break down something 10 years ago and I go through it again, it's going to be the same. And if I go off, I will be reminded by one of the apostles, one of the bishops, you breaking out different. And I'll say, oh, wow, I didn't even realize it. But you're not going to see us do that because we're constantly going through these prophecies. So let me come back over here. Oh, let me go here. So, brother Hassad, said that there's going to be another kingdom that's going to rule, and that's going to be Gog. He says Gog and Magog, and they're going to rule. I don't know how long. I don't know if it's going to be 2 seconds or. Gog ain't ruling a damn thing. When this place goes down, when the fourth beast goes down, this whole kingdom's going to. Now you're going to have people that are not hit by the missiles that's going to still be around. You're going to have members of the EU nations. They're not going to be utterly destroyed. The only place that's going to be destroyed is Babylon the Great and Palestine. Other places are going to be jacked up. There's going to be the whole earth is going to quake. Buildings are going to fall to the ground. Walls, it says every wall shall fall. I read that yesterday. So you're going to have people trying to, oh my goodness, this is devastating, this, that, and the third. And then we're going to come down and we're going to take the world over, and they're going to try to fight us. And we're going to fuck them up. That includes any Russians, any Europeans, any French people, any Hamites, because we're going to take Ham too. Any Arabs, any sons of Japhet, Moab, Ammon, any of them that they were going to fight them. You ain't taking our kingdom. We building back our own kingdom. We're going to fuck y'all up. And that includes the Russians. We're going to fuck them up too. And we're going to force them into slavery, and they're going to be forced to keep. Do you know how much an Arab's going to fight to follow Allah? And you're going to tell him he can't pull out his prayer rug and pray 5 times a day? And you got to pray to the Yahweh? No, Allah, you're going to have to kill him. You have to kill so many of them that they're going to say, man, what's his name? What's his name? Nah, fuck Allah. What's his name? Anyway, so your pride, you see, your pride got you going, youngster. You're a young man. At least being a novice, you be lifted up with pride and come under the condemnation of the devil. This is why you stand. Well, we gotta have we ain't have no motherfucking dialogue with no fucking body. All right. If somebody comes to me and says, "How do I get to 125th Street, Malcolm X Boulevard, or whatever," and I'm on 110th Street, Malcolm X Boulevard, and I say, "Go this way," and I point north, and somebody says, "Nope, that's not the way to go," I'm not going to sit down and have an argument about directions with the guy. If the guy said, "Well, he said different, so what do you say?" I said, I told you already what the fuck I said. Well, he said something different, so you got to have I ain't got to have a motherfucking dialogue with nobody. I said what it is. That's the way. If you want to go his way, you go his way, and you find out, okay? You F around and find out. I'm not going to sit there and have well, he's an expert on maps. Okay, man. First of all, I'm out of there. I'm back. I'm moonwalking out this motherfucker. And I'm going to just leave. I'm going to get away from him, man. We ain't fucking with you guys no more. We ain't sitting down and having no back and forth with you niggas. We got the truth. The scripture, the Lord said, Yahweh gave the role to Ezekiel and said, "Go out and teach the children of Israel." He didn't say, "Well, if you come across certain Israelites, they're going to want to have a debate and dialogue." No, it doesn't say that. The word dialogue's not in the scriptures, the holy scriptures. Excuse me. So fuck all that bullshit and watch what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to do with all you demons out there. What in the hell happened to the ICGJC. That's a little church. That's a home on the prairie church. That's a little church, little corner church. Ain't nothing. Ain't nobody talking about them. The Most High totally. Look, Arias retired. Shah is retired. All you got is these young dudes trying to keep this thing going by these blockhead niggas that don't know that are not of the elect. They ain't no elect in the ICGJC. And the Most High took this nigga out. He killed this dude. Then he recently, according to reports, he took his brother out. And then his mother was taken out, but his mother lived to be 70, which, you know, she lived a full life. He only made it, he what, the 40s, early 40s? So the Most High, you know, ain't nobody talking about the ICJ. Ain't nobody bringing up ICGJC. And we used to go back and forth with them guys. Just telling them they're going off on this and they go. And by the way, they were teaching that there's an actual hell. Any of you cats out there teaching that there's a hell, you're going to go to hell. You know what I mean? So anyway, let's do this. It said the 4 kingdoms of the Gentiles. What are the 4 kingdoms? Will pass away. And what will pass away with it? Any future rulership. The next rulership, when this destruction comes, we're going to rule. It's not going to be when this destruction comes, Russia's going to rule for 2 months, and then we're going to know it's not in the scriptures. And be succeeded by the kingdom of the saints of the Most High, which are the Israelites, starting with the elect, which will endure forever. It says in Ezekiel 38 that we're going to sit down in safety. If we're sitting down in safety, that means we're in the kingdom. So the Russians are going to jump up on us and kidnap Yahweh and kidnap Yahushua and kidnap Michael and the angels. They're going to hold a spear, a sword to Michael's neck and say, if you move, I'm going to slit Michael's throat. That shit ain't going to happen, man. I'm telling you, watch what Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua is going to do to you demons out there. Which will endure forever. So it's going to be, the 4 kingdoms are going to be destroyed. Daniel 7, 9, 10 on down. And then we're going to come in and that's it. Which will endure forever. There ain't going to be no skirmishes. Ain't going to be no squabbles in the kingdom. Ain't no nation going to buck up against us. Ain't no nation going to buck up against us. They're going to do what we say do or get fucked up or killed. The saints of the Most High, which are the Israelites, starting with the elect, see him here as also in Daniel 7:22. Until the Ancient of Days and the judgment was given to the saints, the Israelites of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. 27 verse. And the kingdom and dominion and greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, that includes Russia, Russia's under the whole heaven, shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion, lordship, shall serve and obey him. So when we take these people down, they're going to ultimately obey us. It said we're going to ride on the shoulders of the Philistines, right? To take the place of the one like unto a son of man in Daniel 7:13. Let's see what that says. I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like unto the Son of Man, which represents Yahushua, came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, which is the Most High, and they brought him near to him, and to receive the same never-ending dominion. So the Cambridge know that this is talking about the destruction of all these worldly kingdoms, secular kingdoms, and the rulership of Yahushua and the saints. And Yahweh, of course, number one. The saints, who are the saints? The Israelites. The holy ones. And that includes all of them. I don't care how wicked a nigga is. King Von, that nigga coming back. What's this guy? I'm thinking of some famous Uncle Toms. Oh, this guy, what the fuck is his name? But many Uncle Toms in there. I mean, Tom ass niggas in the history of this thing of ours, they're gonna come back in the kingdom and they're gonna fuck Esau up. They said the saints. What's this guy? Something Scott. He from Georgia. A big bubblehead nigga looking like a fucked up Tootsie Roll. He's Tom Scott or something Scott. This funny looking Negro. He's gonna marry an Edomite. He's gonna make it. He's a Tom. There's the other dude. What's the other dude's name? What's this other nigga's name? An old nigga. They asked him about reparations. He said, we don't need no reparations. Somebody help me out. Any of you niggas that's voting for that Elamite, now they're saying really the father of Kamala is really an Elamite. They're Elamites and they own slaves. She's not time will tell. So it says Psalms 34:9. O fear Yahweh, you his saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. The word is entirely different from the one. Oh, there goes your name, Hasid. I'm not going to go through all these precepts. Oh, well, here we go. Deuteronomy 7:6. So we're going to take these people down. Shall receive, Daniel 5:31. And Darius the Mede, they will not establish it by their own power. So even the Bible Hub, the commentary even got it right. They know that like I said, the four kingdoms of the Gentiles, the beast, the first beast was a lion with eagle's wings that stood upon his feet. Babylonians came out of Assyria. By the way, the king of Babylon, the kings of Babylon were Assyrian. Their race, their nation was Assyrian. The next was the Medo-Persians. The next was the Greeks, which were Edomites. The next was Roman. And the last is Rome coming back again, reincarnated Rome, which is America, NATO, and the EU, including Canada. Somebody said, who said this? Somebody said, I think it was Ronan, he said, when he was talking to back and forth with Hakar and Assad, that he said Canada's going to be destroyed. Canada's not going to be destroyed, all right? Canada's not Babylon. Babylon is the United States. Canada's not going to be destroyed. And them guys didn't correct them. So now, let me go into the precepts. So once this kingdom goes down, ain't no other kingdom gonna come up. Moab ain't gonna come up into power. Russia ain't gonna come up into power. It says in Daniel chapter 2, you starting at the 40th verse, it said, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. So after the feet of it go down, that's it. That stone from heaven that's going to destroy the feet and all the beasts, all the rest of the kingdoms before that, they're going down. Russia's not going to slip up in there, man. And the reason why you keep teaching it, because of that pride, because you were lifted up, you coming under the condemnation of the devil, just like Comfy did, just like Tazadakia did. Tazadakia is cool right now. He's cool right now. He's righteous, all right? His brother's righteous. His mother's righteous. Anybody that died in this thing, whether they're wicked or not, Super Toms, Super Sambos, guess what? They're righteous. Because the promise that Yahweh Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua gave to Abraham was for all of Israel. It's no different than you have a best friend, and this guy dies, and his last wishes to you, my best friend. He said, "Yeah, we're best friends. I'd do anything for you." And he said, "I want you to do this for me. I want you to take care of my son. No matter what he does, take care of him." So guess what? His son might be the worst nigga on the planet Earth. But guess what? This man can't do anything because he made a promise to his best friend that he would take care of his son no matter what. If he doesn't take care of his son, that means he broke the promise to that brother that died. So guess what? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua made a promise to the seed of Abraham. If you're an Israelite, you're a seed of Abraham. I don't give a damn how much of a Tom, how much of a coon, how much of a sellout you are. I don't care if you're this guy. I'm trying to think of these famous coons in the world. These famous coon ass niggas. I don't care if you're Stephen. I don't care if you're Stephen from Django. That nigga's righteous. I don't give a damn if you're Stephen. I don't give a damn who you are. You know? All Israel's gonna make it. Not one Israel gonna burn in hell, and there's no such thing as hell. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next one. Shalom.